Good Saturday evening. I'm meteorologist David Keller. We are on first alert here this evening for the potential of some strong to severe storms. We do have a tornado watch that's in place for the Omaha Metro through 10 o'clock. And we also have some strong storms that are just off to the west of the Metro right now. And those will be moving our way here as we head into the evening hour. So we are expecting some scattered strong to severe storms, likely around 7 to 8 o'clock here in the Metro, but between 6 and 10. So between now and 10 o'clock for most of eastern Nebraska. That's where we do have that tornado watch in place. Damaging winds and large hail, really the main risks with these storms. However, there is the potential that one or two of these storms could produce a tornado, and we are watching that potential right now just southwest of Norfolk, and that will continue to lift toward the Norfolk area. So we're going to take a closer look at that here in just a moment. But we're also watching the potential for some heavy rainfall along with some flash flooding as these storms move slowly through the area over the next several hours. So right now we do have a tornado watch that is in place until 10 o'clock here for most of eastern Nebraska into western Iowa. So that does include the entire Omaha Metro. Until 10 o'clock also includes Fremont, Wahoo, Lincoln, Nebraska City, Auburn, Tecumseh, Falls City, Rockport, over towards Sidney, Hamburg, Shenandoah, as well as Plattsmouth, Pacific Junction, and Glenwood. Council Bluffs, of course, included in that as well. But right now we do have a tornado warning that is in place here for areas northwest of the Metro. You can see those red boxes on the screen here. We're going to zoom into portions of Madison County. That's where we are looking at a potential tornado right now. This tornado warning covers most of central and northeastern Madison County. There was a tornado, at least a brief tornado reported there north of Newman Grove, and this could move toward Norfolk. So you can see a tornado warning in place there for central Madison County until 6:30 p.m. We did have a report of a tornado north of Newman Grove. Let me see if I can get Newman Grove on the map here. Does not want me to show Newman Grove. Okay, well that is southwest of Norfolk in the southwest corner of Madison County. So there it is. There was a report of a tornado there north of Newman Grove. This activity is lifting to the northeast, moving at about 30 to 40 miles per hour. So we are still seeing potential rotation within this activity. So if I turn on our radar wind speeds, you can see there is one pocket of rotation here on the northwest side of Norfolk, another pocket of rotation near Emmerich, northeast of Newman Grove, and possibly a third pocket of rotation here northwest of Newman Grove, right on the Madison and Boone County line. So if we switch back over to radar, you can see there's potential rotation right in here northwest of Norfolk, another area of rotation right here in central Madison County, and a possible another area of rotation here to the northwest of Newman Grove. So several strong storms there in Madison County that we are monitoring. Multiple tornado warnings are in place there for Madison County. See, that goes until 6:15 p.m. This goes until 6:15. This warning goes until 6:30. So Madison County until 6:30, we have a tornado warning in place. So that's another 30 minutes there. For these this line of storms, really, we have three different storms. One northwest of Norfolk, one just to the south of Battle Creek, and one north of Newman Grove. Each one of these storms showing some potential for rotation right in here, and then right in here. Let me get Newman Grove back on the map, and Battle Creek. So that is where we are looking at the potential for rotation, possibly a tornado developing. We did get a report of at least one brief touchdown there in Madison County, north of Newman Grove, and that will remain a possibility here over the next 30 minutes. So that, again, tornado warning is still in place for Madison County until 6:30. We also have severe thunderstorm warnings that are in place to the southwest of the Omaha Metro. One severe thunderstorm warning for Lancaster County for areas south of Lincoln. That goes until 6:15. Could have some gusty winds, although this storm has been weakening a little bit here over the last 20 to 30 minutes. There is still potential. There could be some damaging winds there on the south side of Lincoln. That's going to be moving into western Cass County as well as southwestern northwestern Odo County. Also have a severe thunderstorm warning here for Gage County. This storm looks a little bit stronger here over Beatrice. This severe thunderstorm warning is for some quarter-sized hail. That goes until 6:15 as well. If we look at the wind here, not seeing a lot of strong winds there over Gage County, so that's some good news. And then right here on the south side of Lincoln, west of Hickman, east of Crete, there could be some strong winds with this activity, but it's not quite as organized as it was earlier, so that's certainly some good news, but that could move toward Palmyra and Eagle here over the next 30 minutes. All this activity is southwest of Omaha right now. It is moving to the east and northeast about 40 miles per hour, so if we put a storm track on this, let me actually clear that off a little bit. If we put a storm track on this and bring this up into the Omaha metro, it would be moving into the west side of Omaha, say Gretna, Ashland, by about 7 o'clock, moving into Papillion and Millard by 7:10 to 7:20, and then into downtown Omaha by about 7:30 or so. This is likely the reason that the College World Series has decided to go ahead and delay the start of the second game today, as these storms are moving toward the metro. Right now we don't have any storms in the metro, but there could be a storm moving in here shortly. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued here. This is going to be for northeastern Platte County and northern Colfax and southern Stanton counties. This goes until 6:45. Looks like some 2-inch hail possible here between Humphrey and Clarkson, so that is a strong thunderstorm. We're going to have to monitor that for the potential of some rotation as well over the next 30 minutes. Looks like mainly a wind and hail risk right now just to the east of Tarnov, south of Creston, southwest of Lee. This is moving to the northeast at, moving to the northeast about 35 miles per hour. So if I clear that off, we can put a storm track on this, moving northeast about 35 miles per hour. So that brings it into Lee by about 6:15, Clarkson by about 6:25, and if it holds together, Pilger and Wisner by about 6:50 to 7 o'clock. So again, that storm, right now the main risk is some large hail up to 2 inches in diameter, so that is some pretty large hail, but that will be lifting toward Stanton and Clarkson here over the next 30 minutes. Still monitoring these multiple tornado warnings that are in effect until 6:30 here for Madison County. We've seen multiple areas of rotation. One appears to be right over Norfolk right now. Not getting an immediate report of a tornado right there in Norfolk, but if you have friends or family in Norfolk, make sure they are taking shelter right now, as that rotation is right overhead. Have another area of rotation near Battle Creek, and then possibly another pocket of rotation to the north of Newman Grove. Let me go ahead and put this into motion real quickly just to see how things have been evolving. So it looks like that rotation moving into Battle Creek has actually weakened a little bit, while the rotation near Norfolk has intensified. So we are seeing that rotation intensifying over the Norfolk area right now, and that would likely be taking this into the northwest portion of Stanton County here shortly. So that is going to be likely impacting areas just northwest of Stanton into the Windside area southwest of Wayne. So this is the area of concern right over Norfolk at the moment, and that is going to be moving to the northeast. So Hoskins, Windside toward Wayne, that is the greatest area of concern in my opinion right now, with some possible strengthening rotation over the Norfolk area. Let me go ahead and pause this again real quickly. Put the radar back on the screen here, and then we can put a storm track on this. So basically right over Norfolk right now, moving off to the northeast about 35 miles per hour. So that brings it into, well, Norfolk right now, Hoskins by about 6:20, Windside by about 6:30, and Wayne by about 6:45. So Wayne, you're not currently in a tornado warning, but want you to be prepared to take shelter if this comes your way here over the next 30 to 40 minutes. So that is likely the strongest storm in our area right now in terms of tornado potential. Watching this storm northeast of Columbus, just east of Tarnov, southeast of Humphrey, southwest of Stanton, likely producing hail up to 2 inches in diameter. So that is a pretty powerful thunderstorm right there. Thankfully, not seeing significant rotation. If we flip on our wind speeds, likely some strong winds in here, but it does not appear to be rotation at this point in time. But if we look at our hail potential here, Does not look like that is loaded. We'll give that a second to try and load in here and see if we can get, there we go. The hail potential up to about 1.5 inches in diameter, so that's just shy of golf ball sized, at least estimated by radar, and we could see that increase up to perhaps 2 inches in diameter, so that would be larger than golf balls. They're possible there in northeastern Platte County, so that's why we do have that severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect until 6:45 for this storm. Just northeast of Platte Center in northeastern Platte County. This is going to be moving into northwestern Colfax County and southern Stanton County over the next 15 to 30 minutes, likely moving toward Lee, Creston, Clarkson in northern Colfax County, and staying just to the south of Stanton in central Stanton County. But that is a strong storm for sure, with the potential therefore up to 2-inch diameter hail. We also continue to monitor these thunderstorms here south of Lincoln, mainly a wind risk. I think with these storms at the moment, you can see they've kind of become a bit of a line here from Lincoln down to Beatrice. This is going to continue to move to the east and to the northeast, and that's going to bring this activity into the Omaha metro by 7 to 8 o'clock, moving through Lincoln right now. I think the greatest severe weather risk is going to be likely just south of the metro here across southeastern Nebraska into northwest Missouri and southwest Iowa. But the northern edge of this line of storms is likely going to ride right up I-80 into Omaha. So that is going to at least bring some thunderstorm risk into the Omaha metro as these storms continue to move off to the north and the east. So I know I've been talking quite a bit here for a moment. I still want to check in with the questions and comments coming in here on the Facebook stream. Is Douglas County still in the tornado watch? Yes, all of eastern Nebraska into western Iowa is included in that tornado watch that continues until 10 o'clock. Here is that tornado watch. You can see all of eastern Nebraska and the western tier of counties there in Iowa still included in that watch until 10 o'clock. The main line of storms is right. Well, that's the wrong tool there, so let me try and redraw that. The main line of storms is right through here, and it is moving to the east and northeast, although we are seeing the storms kind of clustering up near Norfolk and Columbus, and another cluster from Lincoln down to Beatrice. So put on the radar again, you can see we've got one cluster of storms there and another cluster of storms right up there. Both of these lines of activity are moving to the east and to the northeast. So the northern edge of this activity is likely going to scrape right by the Omaha metro. We will see if any additional activity develops here between Lincoln and Wahoo. If that happens, that is what we would be tracking here for the Omaha metro. This activity is likely to stay north of downtown, but nonetheless, these storms are certainly capable of producing some significant severe weather. You can see we do have several tornado warnings in place here for Madison County. It looks like a new tornado warning. Possibly, yes, a new tornado warning there for Madison County. So that now takes us through 6:45 there for central and western Madison County. We turn on our wind speeds. So once again, we do have multiple areas of rotation. One near Norfolk, one to the south of Battle Creek, and one just to the north of Newman Grove. So that's why we have a new tornado warning that has been issued here for this cluster of thunderstorms, as we do have multiple areas of rotation. All this activity continues to track to the northeast. Let me see here, at about 30 to 40 miles per hour. Not moving terribly quickly, and this is one of the reasons that I do think we may have some flash flooding risk as we head through the evening. So we have this one storm here northwest of Newman Grove, moving northeast about 30. So Norfolk, you should be in your shelter now, but I want you to stay in that tornado shelter here as we head through the evening hours, we'll say through about 7 o'clock, because this storm is moving slowly and is still showing signs of rotation. So Norfolk, want you to stay in your tornado shelter probably through about 7 o'clock here, as multiple storms with rotation are nearby. Battle Creek, you should be in your tornado shelter as well. This is staying to the southwest of Wayne and just northwest of Stanton for the moment. So Stanton, you're likely hearing a lot of thunder with multiple storms nearby, but at the moment you're not looking at an imminent severe weather risk. And on the screen, that is a flash flood warning now for areas just west and southwest of Norfolk, into the Battle Creek and just north of Newman Grove there, for Madison County until 9:15. So we have tornado warning, severe thunderstorm warning, and flash flood warning all in effect for Madison County right now because of this cluster of slow-moving thunderstorms. If we come in a little bit closer, we can take a look again at the radar wind speed. Lots of lines on the screen, but what we're looking at is the bright reds and the bright greens. Where they come together, that indicates at least some potential for rotation. So this area of rotation over Norfolk has weakened a little bit. We still have some ongoing rotation near Battle Creek and a possible third pocket of rotation here just north of Newman Grove, Highway 45 and 32 there in southwestern Madison County. So 3 pockets of rotation. So if you live north of Newman Grove, if you live between, we'll say, Norfolk and Newman Grove here across central Madison County, or if you have any friends or family in that area, make sure they are taking shelter right now, as we have 3 different thunderstorms with at least some rotation and 1 recent report of a tornado that was at least briefly on the ground with these storms here in Madison County. I don't believe we are currently seeing a tornado on the ground right now, but the potential is there that a tornado could really touch down with little to no notice. And there is a new tornado warning. So this is going to be tracking to the northeast of Norfolk. So that is that rotation over Norfolk right now. So this takes the, let me switch modes here. That takes this warning into northern Stanton County, as well as southern Wayne County. So that includes the Hoskins and Winside area through 6:45 now. So Stanton and Wayne counties now included in this tornado warning until 6:45. It's about 30 minutes from now, and that's because of the rotation that's currently right over Norfolk, and it is moving to the northeast about, we'll say, 30 miles an hour. Not moving very quickly here. So Hoskins, you've got about 10 minutes. I want you to go ahead and get into your tornado shelter, moving into the Winside area by about 6:40. So that gives you just about 15 minutes or so to get into your tornado shelter. And then Wayne, you're still in the path of this storm, not officially included in this tornado warning at this point in time. But Wayne, if this holds together, it could be knocking on your doorstep by about 7 o'clock. So that's one area of rotation there right over Norfolk. Another area of rotation there just to the south of Battle Creek. This is also moving toward Norfolk. So although we've had one storm move by Norfolk, need you to stay in your tornado shelter. And then we have another area of rotation here between Emmerich and Newman Grove, right on Highway 32 just west of Madison. This is also moving to the northeast. So if we put a storm track on this, again, not moving very quickly, but it could be moving back into the Norfolk area by about 7 o'clock. So friends or family in the Norfolk area should be in their tornado shelter at this point in time, because we do have multiple storms with rotation nearby. And this is all affecting areas through the Winside area of Wayne County, just north of Stanton. So if you're hearing sirens in Stanton right now, you're not officially included in a tornado warning. You're not included in a severe thunderstorm warning either, but we do have a couple of strong storms just to the south of Stanton. This is going to be from Platte Center through Creston and Lee. This storm is still capable of producing some large hail. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for northeastern Platte County, southeastern Stanton County, as well as northwestern Stanton County, as well as northwestern Colfax County until 6:45, and we are looking at the potential for up to 2-inch diameter hail with these storms here. Moving into Creston and Lee right now, so you may be experiencing some of that large hail. If we look at our estimated hail product here, it looks like it's come down just a little bit, so perhaps some good news there. The hail size still over a quarter to about a half just south of Creston. Certainly want you to go ahead and stay inside, stay away from the windows there in Creston, Lee, Clarkson, as this storm is still capable of producing some pretty large hail as it lifts to the northeast at about 30 to 35 miles per hour. So again, some slow moving storms here. We put this storm track on it, give it about 35 miles an hour, so that will take it into Lee here in the next couple of minutes. Clarkson by about 6:30, moving fairly slowly there, and then continuing to move off to the east northeast toward Wisner and Sherman by 7 to 7:10, although that part of Cumming County not officially included in that severe thunderstorm warning at this point in time. Still tracking these storms down to the south of Lincoln, but they have weakened considerably here over the last 30 minutes. We no longer have any severe thunderstorm warnings here for Lancaster or Gage counties. That's certainly some good news, but there is still some fairly frequent lightning with this activity. So if I put on our lightning here, there we go. You can see there is a lot of lightning with this line of storms from Lincoln down to Beatrice. Currently tracking over 800 lightning strikes in the last few minutes, and this activity is continuing to move to the north and east. So if I put this into motion here, you can see this motion to the east, northeast. So it's going to track right along and likely just south of I-80 into the Omaha Metro. So that's going to bring that lightning threat into town here by 7 o'clock, and then we'll see some storms in the metro through 8, 9 o'clock. But it does look like the strongest storms here are going to pass just to the south of the Omaha Metro, so perhaps a little bit of good news right there. But you can see we still have a pretty good line of storms here from Lincoln down to Beatrice, just beginning to move into the Eagle, Palmyra area, just west of Syracuse. This activity is producing some small hail, perhaps some larger hail with this storm. So a new severe thunderstorm warning likely for this storm southwest of Beatrice. You can see some of the darker reds, pinks, and purples there west of Blue Springs, southwest corner of Gage County. So that's likely why we have this new severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued. This is going to be for Gage and Lancaster counties, as well as portions of Pawnee and Johnson counties. This goes until, let's see here, until 7 o'clock, and we could have some 60-mile-an-hour winds as well as some quarter-sized hail. Looks like the hail risk is mainly with this portion of the storm here southwest of Beatrice. You can see our hail estimate there is not picking up on a whole lot of hail at this point in time, but it could intensify. It looks like mainly under an inch for the moment. If we look at our wind speeds, yeah, there could be some stronger winds here across southern Gage County to the south of Beatrice, so that's why we have this severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued here for Gage County as well as southeastern Lancaster County into western Johnson County. This severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 7 p.m. there for southern Lancaster into western Johnson as well as most of Gage County. Okay, let me get that back on the screen there. With perhaps some quarter-sized hail and wind gusts up to about 60 miles per hour. The current track of this is off to the northeast at about, let's see, 45 miles per hour. So we'll put a rough storm 5 miles per hour. So that brings it into Adams, Sterling, Tecumseh by about 6:45 to 7 o'clock. If this all holds together. And then should this line continue to push to the northeast, it'll be moving into the Auburn, Nebraska City areas by about 7:30, and roughly the same timing there for the Omaha Metro, 7 to 7:30. Again, we continue to also monitor multiple tornado warnings that are in place now until 6:45 for portions of northern Stanton County to Colfax County, as well as central Madison County. So we have one tornado warning here for the Battle Creek area, just southwest of Battle Creek, Emmerich, until 6:45. The area of rotation there is just north of Newman Grove. We also have a tornado warning for areas from Norfolk over into the Hoskins and Windside area of Wayne County. That is also in effect until 6. If I put our wind speeds back, again, what we're looking for is the bright reds and greens, where they come together. That is all indications of potential rotation. So we still have potential rotation, one either side of Norfolk. This one right along Highway 275, moving toward Highway 57 there in northern Stanton County, southern Wayne County. Likely the strongest rotation that we're picking up on right now, just south of Hoskins, northwest of Spurville there in northwestern Stanton County. So this is the strongest rotation that we're picking up on at the moment. So that continues to move toward Windside. So I want Windside to be in your tornado shelter. What we're looking at back here near Battle Creek is likely some increasing winds. So there may be some rotation right here between Battle Creek and Norfolk, but likely what we're looking at is the potential for some 60 to 70 mile per hour winds they're developing in eastern Madison County. So although the rotation is not as strong as it was earlier here moving into the Norfolk area, we want you to stay in your tornado shelter for the time being, as the is still there that a tornado could spin up with this activity. And then looking further to the south and west at this storm here north of Newman Grove, the rotation right in here is not as strong as or as organized as it was, but we still have a pretty powerful thunderstorm there. So again, Madison County into northern Stanton, southern Wayne County, we continue to monitor this tornado warning that is now in effect until 6:45 p.m. All right, I do want to check in on some of the questions and comments coming in here. Scott, yes, when we say Douglas County, that includes Millard. Let's see here. Jackson saying it's downpouring in Norfolk right now. Yeah, you're right in the middle of those thunderstorms. Hopefully you're in a safe place right now as there is a rotation either side of town. We haven't had a recent report of a tornado on the ground, thankfully, but this certainly could change very quickly. So the winds will likely increase once again shortly here in Norfolk as the storm continues to push to the east of Battle Creek. Kind of zooming out the picture here, we're going to take a wider look. Let me click the right screen. A wider look across the area. You can see we do have two main clusters of storms. One to the south of Lincoln, down toward Beatrice, right in there, and another cluster between Columbus and Norfolk. Both of these are lifting to the northeast, so that does kind of leave a bit of a gap here between Columbus and Lincoln. So Wahoo and Fremont, you currently don't really have any thunderstorms headed your way. The tornado watch is still in place until 10 p.m. here for all of eastern Nebraska. But at the moment, you can see we're just not picking up on a lot of activity here for Wahoo and Fremont. And that will likely translate up toward Blair and perhaps the north side of Omaha as well. It really looks like this activity here south of Lincoln is going to affect mainly parts of Sarpy County down toward Nebraska City. So Gretna over toward Papillion, maybe La Vista and Bellevue, likely to see some of this activity, but it may stay just south of downtown Omaha, although we're still going to have a lightning threat here in downtown Omaha. So that is why we have seen the College World Series delayed here this evening as these storms continue to track off to the east and northeast. So there's the motion. You can see the storms moving pretty steadily, although not quickly, to the east and northeast. And look at this north edge here tracking right along I-80. So that's likely going to continue to track right up into parts of Sarpy County and may pass just south of downtown. You look back toward Fremont and Wahoo, not a lot of activity here. This is trying to track, you can see we had some activity trying to fill in here, but so far it's not been able to do that. So that could mean that we may not see a lot of activity here for the Wahoo and Fremont area. Of course, we are still in that tornado watch until 10 p.m., so we'll have to continue to monitor that closely for any additional development. The strongest storms in the area right now continue to be here between Columbus and Norfolk, where we have multiple severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings in place right now, as well as a flash flood warning for Madison County. These storms continue to grow in coverage, although the intensity appears to have decreased a little bit here over the last 15 minutes. If we look at our hail potential, we still have maybe some large hail there in central Madison County, up to about $half size. The storm here southwest of Clarkson has weakened considerably, so perhaps the severe thunderstorm warning there for parts of Colfax and Stanton counties will be allowed to expire here before 6:45 p.m. So we continue to watch these multiple tornado warnings here in Madison over into portions of Stanton and Wayne counties. The strongest area of rotation right now is just north of Stanton, just to the east of Norfolk. You can see these bright reds and greens right in here. That's likely where we could see some, where we're seeing some rotation. That's where a tornado could develop with this storm. So that's approaching just north of the intersection with 275 northwest of Pilger. This is going to track just south of Hoskins and Windside, but I want you to be in your tornado shelter just in case, as this is going to be passing very, very close to you. Again, this tornado warning is in effect until 6:45 p.m. So if we put a storm track on this, as it continues to move to the northeast, not moving terribly quickly, but again, moving into the Wayne area by about 7 o'clock, likely passing over mainly rural areas of Stanton County at this point in time. So that is possibly some good, rural areas of Stanton and Wayne County, that is. So that is possibly some good news, but do want to keep you updated on that activity. Rolling the picture here back to the west into the Norfolk area, seeing the potential for some strong winds now moving into Norfolk, but the rotation has diminished somewhat with this storm, as all of these thunderstorms are kind of merging together into one complex, and that does sometimes decrease the tornado threat. So that would certainly be some good news right there if these storms are able to merge and kind of decrease that tornado threat. But then we will see an increase in the flash flooding risk here in northeastern Nebraska. And now we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that covers that entire complex. from central Madison County up to Wayne County, northern Stanton County as well. So Norfolk, Stanton, Wayne, all included in that severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued there. This is until 7:30, and we are looking at some golf ball sized hail potential, as well as 60-mile-an-hour winds. And we've been looking at those higher wind speeds there just to the west of Norfolk, and also the potential for some of that larger hail here in central Madison County, just southwest of Norfolk. So we are keeping a close eye on all of that activity as it continues to track to the north and east. If I put the hail potential there back onto the screen, you can see that hail core just southwest of Norfolk. That's where we are seeing the potential for perhaps up to golf ball sized hail, and that is likely going to track just into the Norfolk area, perhaps just south of Norfolk. Let's put a storm track on that hail core as it moves northeast at about 30 miles an hour. So again, Norfolk by about 650, Hoskins 7 o'clock, wind side 710 to 720. So that is the potential there for some large hail in Madison County, moving into northwest Stanton County, as well as southern Wayne County. Wayne included in that severe thunderstorm warning now until 7:30, as this cluster of storms is not moving very quickly, and it has kind of been redeveloping over the same area multiple times, and that's why we also have a flash flood concern here for portions of northeast Nebraska. Notice this whole cluster, though, is starting to come together, and that should help to diminish the tornado threat here as these storms kind of merge over the next 15 to 30 minutes. So we will continue to monitor that severe weather risk as we head through the evening hours, and we will certainly bring you updates as these storms move in. Here's the line of storms that I'm watching for the Omaha Metro, currently just southwest of Louisville and South Bend, moving through Eagle, about to move into Weeping Water. It's moving off to the northeast about 40 miles an hour or so. If we put a storm track on that, that brings it into Gretna by about 640, at least the leading edge of the lightning potential, moving into Millard by about 650, Papillion by about 655, and then Omaha, downtown Omaha between 7 and 7:30. Again, the strongest storms with this activity likely to track along and just south of I-80. So we are going to see the lightning potential. Let me turn the lightning back on. Lots of lightning activity with this. So it's going to bring the lightning potential into Omaha, although I think the severe weather potential may pass just to our south. We will certainly keep you updated as all this activity continues to move our way. Again, the timing of that brings the storms into the Omaha Metro by about 7 o'clock on the west side of town, and then through the 7 o'clock hour across the metro, with the strongest storms in Sarpy County affecting Papillion, Bellevue, and then down into Cass County. So we're talking about Plattsmouth, Louisville, South Bend, down toward Weeping Water, into Palmyra, Eagle, getting the storms right now, and then into Nebraska City as well. Southeastern Nebraska, you will continue to see this line of storms move your way. So Tecumseh over toward Auburn, Pawnee City, Falls City, through 7, 8 o'clock this evening. This line of storms will continue to progress to the east. So that's the current look at the timing of these storms across the area. Of course, if we get any significant updates, we're going to bring that to you live on air, as we are currently watching golf play out here on Channel 6. Of course, we will be monitoring these storms all evening long, and if we get any more significant updates, we will of course pop on air to let you know what's going on. So that's the latest updates here from the First Alert Weather Center. We're going to go ahead and sign off here for a little bit, and I will be back in the Weather Center monitoring things as all of these storms continue to move through the area.